Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How is everybody? Let's see who's on here first. Hey, Lisbeth. Hey, Noldy. Noldy. Oh my goodness. Hey, Jacobra. How you doing? I hope everybody is doing great. I hope y'all had a great Christmas and all that good stuff. Got gifts for the kids, all that. And got that out the way. Hope y'all not in too much debt, okay? Hey, Dwight, I'm glad to see you back. We'll finish talking in the inbox after this, okay? Hey, Robin. All right. Hey, Pretty Rhodey. Pretty Rhodey, what county are you in? Hey, Violet. Hey, Miss My Poom Poom. It sounds so funny every time I say that, but how you doing? All right. So this is actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is our last Monday together this year. It's our last Monday together this year. So first, let me be the first to say Happy New Year's to everybody. I hope and pray that we all make it on to the other side and see each other in 2022. It's been a rough day for me today. Okay, so I'm trying to not make sure y'all don't see no bags and all that stuff. So it's been a rough one. Okay, but I hope to see everybody on the other side, and we're gonna recap some stuff over 2021, so that you guys know what to look forward to in 2022. And as always, if you guys got questions, please drop them. Again, please like, share, tag, follow, all the good stuff that they make us do on social media to get the word out. Okay. So again, thank y'all for being here. Okay. So all right. So Alpharetta. All right. So let me get down. Let me go. You could drop the questions. I'll go back over them really quick. So just to do a recap of what has happened in this year. December 31st of in a couple days. So if you guys have not applied for the SBA EIDL loan, if you have not, you have until the 31st. If you want to apply for the EIDL targeted grant, you still have to apply for the loan in order to get the opportunity to apply. Believe it or not, somebody called me today and they did not know about it. I don't know how people don't know about it, but it is very true. This individual really did have a business and really has been filing taxes. And he applied this morning after we talked, and he ended up getting approved, and he signed his documents for $325,000. So I am very, very ecstatic for this individual. So if you know somebody that has not, please tell them to apply. If you have a reconsideration that you are in the process of waiting for a decision, as long as you are in the pile before it ends in December 31st, your application will still be counted. So please do not think that you can't or think that you shouldn't. If it said something about your credit wasn't right or something that you can fix, if you were denied for something that's fixable, you might as well put an application in for reconsideration and then go fix it, because you still have a few months before they even get back to you. Okay. So that's the biggest one. If you got a PPP loan and you have not filed for forgiveness, I do not know what you are waiting on. Now is the time. No, they have not given a deadline date of when you have to have these filled out by, but there is no sense of waiting. Excuse me, let me fix my fake camisole top. And if y'all watch my video, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? Ooh, especially for some of us women who are going through a little menopause. All right, some of my high school friends are in here. Y'all know what I'm going through. It's hot. These lights are hot, and I couldn't spare a shirt, so I got the snap-on top. Okay, So, and yes, I got this from Amazon. All right. So y'all know I'm a big fan of recommending stuff that works, just like I talk about this stuff here. So if y'all hot, y'all going through these menopausal things, y'all need a little snap-on cami, get them. Okay, I got a snap-on because I'm hot. All right. So let me get back on topic, y'all. All right, so they have not announced when the deadline for the PPP forgiveness is, but that does not mean that you do not need to go and apply for it. There are still people who have not done it. Why y'all waiting? I don't know what y'all waiting on, but hopefully you'll take this as your message to go and do your forgiveness. You may be able to do it through the SBA website. You may have to do it through your bank. If you have to do it through your bank, it's much more work. Okay, it is much more work, and a lot of times they want paperwork. Do not avoid the obvious. Go ahead on and do it. Some people are finding out that they are not getting their forgiveness when they do it through their bank, because they found out they shouldn't have gotten it in the first place. If that happens, you're stuck. You have no other choice but to pay it. So I'm saying this so I don't want people to avoid doing the forgiveness. Now let me also add, and I'll look and see if y'all got some questions before I go on. If you are stuck with a PPP loan and now they found out that you were not supposed to get it, okay, as long as there's no criminal case, PPP loans are unsecured loans. So if you happen to find yourself in a rut and you cannot pay your debt, you can throw your PPP loan into a bankruptcy. All right. This is not legal advice. This is just info that your girl is sharing with y'all because I know some people don't know, okay? But it is an unsecured loan. It's an unsecured debt, which means that it can be thrown into a bankruptcy in the event some people need to file, okay? So let me check really quick to see if anybody have any questions. So somebody asked me about rental assistance. I'm going to get there. Let me see, rental assistance, grants for home buyers. Hey, Nanette, and hello, Chantel. All right, let me see what else we got. Let me see if anybody got anything here in TikTok line. Okay, great. So good. So I'll go ahead on and move on to rental assistance. So this number is not going to work for everybody, but it will work for the majority of the people that are watching. You can dial 211 from your cell phone, from your home phone. 211 is usually 211 is like the old 411 that we had when we were growing up. But the good thing about 211 is that it's ran by United Way. United Way is funded by the federal government, and United Way also has access to resources and information that some people may not know, even including myself. So I do encourage you guys to utilize the number, and you can actually text them from your phone, but I just say pick up the phone and make sure you got something to write with so they can give you all the information. A lot of times they will email you this stuff. They will text it to you if you don't, but they'll give you information on rental assistance. All right. If you're in Florida, all right, a couple things. I can't believe this video is like blowing up, but did I tell y'all to check out my TikTok page? If you haven't, please follow me. If on YouTube, follow me. If you don't follow me there, I do more than my lives. I have actual videos. So if you don't or have not followed me on YouTube, please do. And again, it is Shamika Saves on all platforms. So I am not hard to find. All right. We were talking about Florida. Florida, if you need rental assistance, it is ourflorida.com, Florida.com. I know people who are going in for their second round of rental assistance. All right. So there should be nobody, I say this every week, there should be nobody saying that they cannot get any assistance, because I know most places have rental assistance funds available. More than likely, you are not taking advantage of it. Okay. Now, I done seen all kind of tricks. People changing names on leases, people removing people from leases. I mean, I done seen it all. So if they can do it to get the rental assistance, y'all should be able to do the same thing to get you some rental assistance. Hopefully these are really your places that you living in. Because I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything wrong. You know, I got to make sure I cover myself. Okay. But I've seen it all. So if the scammers and fraudsters can do what it takes to get money in their pocket, why can't y'all? All right. So make sure that you go and you use those websites to take advantage. If you don't know where to go, then all you need to do is dial 211. If you are in Brevard County, which is where I am in Florida, Brevard County did just list that they have some local rental assistance funds. So you don't even have to go to our Florida. You can go right to the county to get rental assistance. All right. So Nobody should be looking at not having a place to stay with all that going on. All right. Now let's move on to IRS because I don't see any. Let me see. Okay, I see some questions. So give me a second. You can't write off federal tax until several years old. You can write off federal taxes in bankruptcy after 2 years old. After 2, the IRS. So just this is a sidebar, so y'all can see a little conversation. If anybody was considering filing bankruptcy and they have IRS debts, the IRS does say that you can throw your IRS debts into the bankruptcy as long as they are 2 years old. And that's a minimum. They can be older than 2, but the minimum is 2. So if you just got, you found out that you owe back debt from 2018 or 19, you can throw those in. But if you found out something that you just found out from 2020, you cannot do it. That's too soon. All right. Do you have to claim your PPP on your taxes? No, you do not. PPP, you do not have to claim because it is a loan. Anytime you were given a loan, you do not have to claim that. So if you were given the SBA EIDL loan, that is not going to be reported on your taxes. If you were given the grant, the 10,000 or the 15,000, you also do not have to report that on your taxes. If you got the PPP and you did not do the forgiveness, you don't have to report that on your taxes. And if you did the PPP and you did do a forgiveness, you do not have to report that on your taxes. So basically, Uncle Sam just said, here goes some money, and hopefully you did the right thing. The only people that should be concerned are the individuals, and this is just from what I read, okay, are the individuals who processed a ton of applications for individuals to get the PPP loan fraudulently. Right now, those are the people that I see that the government is going after, that are not necessarily going after the little guys. I can't say yet, and I can't say ever. All I can say is right now they're looking for the people who process tons and tons of applications. And I know some people that know people who actually did those applications, and now they packed up and they left because they're scared. Okay. And which they should be. The news done got so boring that now they're interviewing Secret Service agents. They just appointed one guy, I don't remember his name, but they just appointed him over the task force group that is going after individuals who got the fraudulent PPP loans. Now you probably say, well, they been had somebody. Well, they did. The Department of Justice had somebody. SBA has appointed somebody. Now the Secret Service has appointed somebody. And what a lot of you may not know is, why would the Secret Service be involved? Because most of you think, well, it's just over the president, right? Well, no, the Secret Service gets involved because this involves the bank. If it did not involve the bank, they would not be involved. It would just be the feds and your local police. But because it involves the bank, the Secret Service gets involved. So they are now lining up their people, and the guy explicitly said that people may think that we are not going after little guys. We're not saying we're going after little guys, but we plan on going back and reclaiming all the money that was illegally funded. All right. So before I move on to the rest part, let me finish this. Now, the reason that I know he's telling the truth is because I read all the reports that come out, and the SBA has the SBA actually hired an outside firm to come in to find out how did they drop the ball this bad by allowing people to get this much money from unauthorized loans that they should not have. And what has been determined was, well, the SBA dropped the ball, basically, right? But what else the SBA is not saying is that they are, and this is the last recommendation that the company sent to the SBA, and the SBA agreed, that they will recoup. Y'all hear me? They will recoup the funds for the grants for business that are not legitimate and for the loans that are not legitimate. Now, I know personally, because I have had to help a lot of people fill out the paperwork, I know personally people who got 3 and 4 of these EIDL loans. Now, I'm not saying these individuals are going to jail, because I do not know. But what I am saying is that this has been a crazy year. We got a lot of stuff going on, but as things slow down, maybe around sometime next year, I would not be surprised if we start to see an increase in people being indicted or having to pay these loans back. Now, if you get into the event where someone's caught and they have to pay a loan back, well, your tax returns are going to be taken. and it will be registered as a federal debt. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you a date that you have to have this paid by. Now, I'm not telling y'all this to scare anybody, because y'all may sit around the table and be talking about this to somebody. So at least you can say, well, I heard Shamika say it. Now y'all can tell them I say it. Okay. So these are the things that they are planning on doing, and the SBA agreed that they are going to recoup the money, and the Secret Service agent said that they want to recoup all the money. So far, they recouped $4 billion. That's not just in cash; that's in homes, in these Ferraris and Maseratis and all jewelry and all of this stuff they have gotten with this money. They've recouped $4 billion of it. So you know, some of those people that we saw that cashed out, they were charging $5,000 per person. Some of those people may be going to see the piper, or maybe have already gotten picked up by the piper, and they just not telling y'all. So please, you know, do your forgiveness, move on. But some people need to be looking over their shoulder. All right. So let me see if anybody said anything. Is it too late to apply for SBA? You have until December 31st. Thank you, Christopher Troutman. I appreciate it. I love sharing information with y'all. I really do. Let's see. That's right, Dwight. The dude from Pretty Ricky, he just got 20 months for his indictment on the PPP loan. I don't think he's going to do the 20 months because he's cooperating. I don't know if you guys noticed, he was actually speaking out and telling other individuals that it was stupid. He shouldn't have done it, which is very smart, because hopefully he deterred other people from doing it, because we still have time. And people still can try to, get money. So not just because the PPP loans are over doesn't mean that there aren't other things that people are trying to do. So y'all know I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, I'm on all kinds of stuff. And not Tumblr. What's the other one that starts? Telegram. And I see that people are already noting that, hey, California is doing unemployment again. So I guess it's like a third round. And so I see people are already trying to get ready to fraud the system. And it's like, these people just don't stop. So if they're not going to stop, I see why the federal government is always doing what they're doing, because somebody's always trying to steal something from some damn body. It's just crazy. All right. So, all right, let me see what y'all got over here. Again, follow, share, like, tag, share, especially on TikTok, because they make it difficult to get around unless you do. It says plus up stimulus. Okay, great. Thank you for talking about that, because I'm about to get onto the IRS right now. So if one more person hit me up and asked me, are we getting another stimulus? No. Y'all see these fists? No more checks. Okay. The only people that are going to receive any money are the individuals who never got paid in the first place. So y'all, if you haven't heard of clickbait is when you see an article that starts talking about something that you want, something free, something about money, or something about the government giving you a check. And they hope you click on that article because they probably get paid per click. Okay. And a lot of you guys who are not into marketing and those things, but that is, you think about it, 1 million people click on something, even though it doesn't lead them anything, and say they get a penny per click. That's a lot of money, all right, that a person can actually make. And so a lot of these news companies, they put these articles out to make you click on them, but it's not telling you anything. So there is such a thing called a plus up stimulus, but the plus up stimulus is for individuals who were shorted their tax refund. If you were not given, if you were given $1,200 out of your stimulus, but you should have got 18, they're going to give you a $600 plus up stimulus. Basically, all that is saying they're giving you what's owed. Why they gave it a fancy name like it's something new is a marketing tactic, okay? But it's nothing special. There is no additional stimulus coming. There are, let's see. You will need to claim your stimulus if you haven't. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on. Let me see if I missed anything. So let's get to the refunds before I get to the stimulus. So if you haven't gotten a refund, and yes, y'all see I'm over here hot with these lights on. I told y'all we in that season right now, okay? So I need to, some of y'all herbalists out there, tell me what I need to take, because I feel like I'm getting some hot flashes over here, okay? But you have your regular tax refund. If you also had to claim your stimulus will also be included in that tax refund. Okay. If you try to go to IRS website to see the status of your return, it is down until January 3rd. So basically you need to chill out, because IRS has done taken a week off and you aren't going to see any status. So the only thing you can do really is check your bank account to see if they deposit any money in your account, because you won't get any information until the new year. Happy New Year from the IRS. Okay. So you're basically just out. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, how do I get my $1,400 because I was only able to claim my 12 and my 600 on my taxes? Well, good question, and I got an answer for you. The IRS is saying if you did not get your $1,400, it will no longer automatically come to you. You will now, hold on, let me fix my fake shirt. Let me fix my fake shirt, y'all. You will now have to claim it next year at tax time. So the good part is you still get the ability to get the money. The money's not lost. The downside of that is if you owe taxes, it's going to reduce that amount that you were going to receive. Okay. So I'm going to run that back. If you have not received your 1,200 and your 600, that is your first and your second stimulus, you can only get that by filing 2020 taxes. If you want your 1,400, which is your third stimulus, you can only get that by filing your 2021 taxes. Okay. So you will file your regular taxes, but on the form, it's going to ask you a question just like it did this year. And it's going to ask you, did you get your 1,400? You're going to say yes. They're not going to give it to you. You say no, you didn't get it. It automatically gets added into the amount of your tax refund. Okay. So let me look. I see y'all asking questions. All right. So let me see. Hey, Noreen, plus size. Okay, let's see. Plus corporate welfare also taking advantage. Well, we know they're taking advantage. What about the taxes on unemployment? Some of y'all should not necessarily be getting a 1099-G unless you were off, unless you weren't working. But if you get a 1099-G, that is from unemployment. That 1099-G is basically a 1099 from anybody who's a government agency. Okay, that's why it has a G. So most time you'll only see that with unemployment. So if you did not elect to have the taxes taken out of your unemployment, you will be taxed when you do your refund. Because when I see that 1099 in front of me and I see that they paid you, they paid you $4,000. Then I'm gonna go over here to box 2 and I'm gonna see how many taxes were taken out. And then I'm gonna see 0. When I see that, I'm gonna put that in. The system or the tax software is automatically gonna calculate what you should have paid. And whatever refund you have is going to reduce it by the amount of taxes that you owe. Please, if you know that you got unemployment, do not rush out there and file your taxes. There's no reason for so many people to do amendments, okay? I can see if there's a mistake here and there. You might have forgot something, but that's why I encourage you all to look at your paperwork before the individual hits submit. You can have them printed out and let you look. Make sure those babies' names are spelled right. If they got a middle name, make sure it's in there. The way that it's on that Social Security card is the way that it needs to be in the system. And this is especially for you ladies that have a newborn. Okay, so make sure the way you give that tax preparer that Social Security card, the way that baby name is spelled is the way it needs to be inputted in the system. Why? Because that's what the IRS is going off of. They link with Social Security, and if they see that you got a J when it should have been a PH or whatever, or F, or however you want to do it, and it's not there, it's going to be rejected. Same with birthdays, Social Security numbers. Y'all know that, but I'm especially for some of the new mothers out there. Make sure the name is right. Also, you need to make sure that you have your 1099s. Of course, if you got unemployment, make sure you got your 6419. That's the letter you're going to get for your child tax credit. You want to have your, I think it's 6479. That's your, the letter you're going to get from IRS telling you what you got for your stimulus. And remember, they're giving you a letter for your stimulus because you can claim that $1,400 on your taxes if you did not. So if you know the amount that you got for your stimulus, you don't have to have it, but it's good to have. But your child tax credit payments, when you get those letters, make sure you keep them, okay? Because you don't want to put the wrong amount in and then the IRS thinking you're trying to play games and now you're being audited, okay? So if you're not sure, you need to pull up your bank account. If you get that letter, take a picture of it on your phone so that you don't have to worry about losing. I know a lot of people that say, I put my mail down, my kids got into it, and now I can't find it. Well, take a picture, sis, as soon as it comes in the mail. No excuses, all right? Let's see. Hey, Tremaine. Renata says, how do you file to get the stimulus for your spouse that died at the end of 2020? All right, so the IRS has a rule about file about claiming taxes for individuals that passed, that were deceased. So the stimulus payments, the first and the second stimulus came out in 2020. Y'all know these years start to run together. So y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But if the stimulus payments came out in 2020, then you can claim the stimulus checks that were issued when he was alive. But the 1,400, they are if the 1,400 came after he was already deceased, you will not be able to claim that. Only the ones that where he was still living. Okay, so that's how that works. If you need anything, Renata, you can just send me a message and I'll help you out. But just the ones that when they were alive. And I had that issue with an individual, their spouse died, and we had to fight to get the money back, but we got the extra $600 because the IRS was telling them no, he didn't get it. But their rules say one thing, but the agents will say something else. So that they were wrong, and he ended up getting his $600. Okay, so let's see. So we talked about the refunds. We talked about the IRS system being down. We talked about the stimulus. So y'all know $1,400 stimulus you got to claim next year. Now I already done talked to my prison friends. I don't know how they know me or where they found out about me, but thank you anyway. But I'm telling y'all this for anybody that's got anybody locked up. Same rules apply for the first and second stimulus that applies for the third. They are entitled. The individuals who are locked up are still entitled to their third stimulus. So print out them a 1040 form, because we don't know if the prison is going to hand it out. So print out them a 1040 form, send it to them so that they can claim to get their $1,400 if they haven't, because a lot of them can only claim their 12 and their 600. I know because I helped a lot, but we couldn't do 1,400 because there was no way to claim it. Now there is. All right. So I don't put the little Jefferson CI on notice that the 1040 form I would mail, and y'all can make copies and y'all can send that out so individuals can claim to get their stimulus check. All right. So someone asked about food stamps. So the pandemic food stamps, there aren't going to be any unless you have some that are being issued through your own state, but there aren't going to be any. We are not shutting down. So we are still in a pandemic, but they're not going to say that, because usually when you say that, that comes with them issuing money, and they're not going to issue any money because I think they are constrained. Okay. So if your state is doing it, great. But if not, then you probably won't get any. Unemployment. I just thought about this for Florida. I wanted to rehash to say this. They did put out, Department DEO stated that if you have an overpayment on your unemployment for Florida, they are not going to refer you to the collection agency. So they were telling you that your credit is safe. And they're saying that, but child support probably not saying that. Okay. So if you do owe unemployment, you're safe in Florida as far as not worrying about them referring you to a collection agency, so it doesn't show up on your credit. But also, you also do not have to worry about doing any repayment at this time also. So everything is kind of on hold till they figure out what they want to do. So if you're in Florida, you're all right with your unemployment. Other states, I have not seen anything about what they plan on doing. It says, what type of tax program do you suggest a person should use to do their own taxes? If a person wants to do their own taxes, you got a couple things. I would normally recommend IRS free file, but so many companies have removed themselves from free file because, well, why would they want you to file for free? Because they want to take your money. Okay. And I'm a little upset because TurboTax and H&R Block, those were companies that were on the IRS free file. They made it very difficult for people to find it, but you really could file your taxes online using their software for free, but you had to meet the income requirements, which is the majority of all my viewers, right? But they have decided that they don't want to offer free file because they prefer you pay, because the majority of you guys have not been taking advantage of free. This is why I do what I do, because if we don't take advantage of programs that they make or give to us, or we don't use the money that they put aside, you know what happens? It goes away. It goes to somebody else. All right. So free file is down. Long story short, I've always liked TurboTax simply because TurboTax has a question and answer section. So I don't have to worry about picking up the phone to call somebody else. I can usually do it myself. Now, I'm not going to take away from the IRS VITA program. Okay. But if you are interested and it's in your area, because they have VITA programs everywhere, and that's VITA. The IRS does offer free income tax filing for low income individuals, and they're everywhere. I run an office. If you're in Florida, they have tons of them. They have tons of them in every place. You just really got to look them up online. I was very, very grateful to meet a lot of people through the program, and I got to see how some people are very smart when it comes to their investments, and there were people in there that on paper they're worth a lot of money, and they were still smart enough to come and get their taxes done for free. Okay, so and the reason, and although IRS free taxes is for low income, you noticed I said they were rich on paper. They were not, it wasn't in the bank, it was on paper. They had investments, all kind of things in their retirement plans, and they still opted to come and get their taxes done for free. So you don't have to pay if you don't want to. You can use IRS Vital. If not, you can use TurboTax. That will probably be the one that I recommend because it's the easiest to understand. All right. Let me see. Pandemic food stamp. Do you have to pay that back? No. If you get pandemic food stamps, you don't pay that back unless you got an overpayment. If you got an overpayment or anything, you're going to have to pay that back. Speaking of overpayment, let's talk about this Irs Child Tax Credit overpayment. I know a lot of people are concerned about that. So I want to make sure I'm clear when I give my information to you guys. All right. So if someone was paid for a child this year is 2021, y'all. If somebody was paid for a child this year, and then next year, somebody else claims that child that is different from the person that was getting paid over here in 2021, it's okay. Because what the IRS is saying is the person that got paid in 2021, they're responsible for the payments that they received. But the person that claimed the children in 2022, they're also responsible for what they're going to receive. The IRS is going to give you your full tax credit. So although somebody else may have collected half of it, the IRS is saying, we're not worrying about what we paid them. We're going to give you the full tax credit. So instead of getting half, like $1,500, you're going to get the whole $3,000 or the $3,500 credit. And let me make sure I understand what I'm telling y'all what that means, because a lot of people are thinking, ooh, that's $3,500 that's coming to me plus earned income tax. And it can be if you don't owe anything. It can be based off your income. But when somebody says you get a credit, all the credit is, I want to see the best way to explain it. So basically, if I'm doing your taxes and I put in that you have one child, right? Automatically in your refund total, it's gonna say $3,000 or $3,500, depending on the age, right? Then once I put in the birthday and all that, you're gonna get earned income tax credit. Everybody gets earned income tax credit, so you're gonna get earned income tax credit. So now that $3,500 may go up to $7,000. So these are numbers that most of you who have children, y'all are familiar with, the thousands of dollars, right? Then you have, and here go all my credits. You got the child tax credit we already added, the earned income tax credit we already added. Then you have the child and dependent care credit. Now these are all three credits that have been in taxes forever. The reason why you guys care about them now is because now the numbers are high. Okay, so the earned income tax credit, it doesn't have a state amount. It's really based off of the age and the amount of money. So earned income tax credit doesn't have a set amount. The child tax credit we know is either $3,000 or $3,500, right? Or is it 30? Yeah, $3,000 or $3,500. And then you have the child and dependent care, of which I explained that to y'all, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, that you can claim up to $8,000 for the child and dependent care. Now, that doesn't just mean they have to be children. If you have someone that's disabled that lives with you and you pay some type of adult daycare, or you pay something out of pocket, these are the things that you can write off on your child, and claim on your child and dependent care. So you do get to write off up to $8,000. Now, a lot of you may not up to $8,000, $16,000 actually, because you get to have you get to claim a maximum of 2. Even though you can have more kids than that, they're only going to pay you for 2. And you can write off up to $16,000, but they're going to give you 50% of that back in the credit, which is $8,000. So just talking, that's $8,000 plus the 3 and the 3. So some tax returns are going to look nice this year. Not saying everybody's going to get that exact amount, because first of all, you got to have that much in child and dependent care credits in order to even get the $8,000. But just say that you did. Say that you do send your child to daycare, and your daycare or private school or whatever you're paying for, it runs that much. Then if you do, then you're looking at getting $8,000 back from child undependent care. So you're looking at $14,000. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to get that. You may or you may not. Now, add the fact that you did not get your stimulus, your third one, your $1,400. Now that's get added back in there, and it's $1,400 for every dependent that you have, not just you. So if it's you and other people in the household that you claimed on your taxes, then you get a $1,400 for them as well. So some people are going to look pretty good this tax season. Some, not everybody, but some people are. Okay. So let me see if I got any questions, because I know people like to talk when it's about money. Okay. So Pretty Rhodey, I answered about the child tax credit. I hope I answered that. Dwight says, do you think child tax credit will come for January 2022? Well, we have until tomorrow to find out if they're going to sign the Build Back Better, if Joe Manchin is going to go with the Build Back Better the way that it is. So a lot of times I believe they blow smoke to keep us all on the edge of our seats, and they forgot to mention that they still have until the 28th. So it's hard to say. But if there's nothing that happens by tomorrow, then there's not enough time to get a January payment out. At least by the 15th, like they normally do. The IRS usually takes a little bit of time to get everybody, ready to send out these electronic payments. So if it's not done by tomorrow, I don't think anybody's going to be receiving these. Now, mind y'all, I don't work for the IRS. All I do is do lots of reading, lots of research. Anybody that knows me or works for me, y'all know I live for this. This is what I do. But what I did see is if they don't start by January, being that they may have to go back and do whatever they got to do in the background to come to some agreement, that they were saying that the first payments you guys should be looking at receiving will be in the middle of the year, which will be June, which is a long time away. I'm going to throw this out there because I know that this is true, and we may not look at it that way because a lot of times we only look at what's going on in our own household. I am going to say to you guys that if the payments, the child tax credit payments, do not start rolling in next year, suicide rates actually do increase when people start stressing about money. So I say that to say, keep an eye on your friends, especially those that have a lot of kids that have to take care of. They may not be working, may be working. Maybe they're just going through it right now. So suicide rates actually do increase when there's a big financial disparities. Not just the child tax credit payments may or may not come. Student loan payments are going to start in February. Now, Joe Biden is looking at possibly, or the White House is possibly looking at doing an extension. If they do, it'll probably come down at the last minute, just like the signing of the Build Back Better bill. It will probably come down at the last minute. But as it stands now, payments are due come February. So imagine not getting any child tax credit payments, and now you have an additional bill. So I am going to say, like I always say, we can't wait for the government to come in and swoop in and save us. So what we need to do, if we already know we can't afford to pay another bill, pick up the phone and call your student loan servicers. Excuse me, I'm sweating. To call your student loan servicers to get on a payment plan. The government has 5. You can choose from 5, okay? And they basically try to find any and every reason to possibly lower your payments for you as long as you qualify, all right? Let me see, James, I see you got something down there, so I know you got some good news, so let me get there. I'm getting there in a second. Hey, Miss Malvina, is it okay for me to give someone I feed so they can get, give someone in Fed so they get, yes, absolutely. I talked to a lot of people who are locked up. I just want individuals to get their money. I don't care if they locked up, locked down, wherever they are. It's your money. And if you don't claim it, somebody else is going to take it. So I am encouraging you to tell somebody to make sure they get their money and to make sure that they get those forms for next year so that they can claim that $1,400. I promise you, there's going to be a lot of people who still haven't gotten it. It's December 27th, and I just talked to somebody. I just did some taxes this weekend for somebody who had not got it. So people are not filing their taxes like y'all think they are, okay? So yes, Miss Melvina, you can. All right. Sorry, give them your, yes, you can, Miss Melvina. All right. James says, I got my SBA money. Thank you for everything. All right, James. Now, James, you know you got to call me to let me know. Congratulations. Now, if I'm not mistaken, James did a reconsideration. So it's good to know that people do still get answers when you do a reconsideration. So, James, you got to let me know. Congratulations. All right. That's right. Brenda wants to know, how long did it take? Yeah, because I know it's been a couple months, James. So let us know how long it took you to get your some feedback from the SBA for your reconsideration. Okay. All right. Chiron says, are you filing 7072 along with that for the parents that have a business but have to watch the kids? So hold on. You calling out forms right now, so now I got to look up all my forms. So when I do the child and dependent care, no, I don't use I think I use the 2441. Hold on, let me do the let me look this up really quick so I can see what form, so I make sure I don't want to mislead anybody. So 7772 is credits for sick leave and family leave. So that's somebody that's an employer. So we won't use we don't, oh, hold on. Yeah, you meant you meant form 7202. That's for an employer, unless I'm misinterpreting you. But for the child and dependent care, that's IRS form 2441. Okay. Somebody said something about Dun & Bradstreet. Miss Noreen, I do not see what you said about a Dun & Bradstreet. Let's see. I don't see it anywhere up there. But if anybody's curious about getting a Dunn's number, you should get you a Dunn's number. Y'all remember, Dunn's is going away in April, so it will still be used for business credit, but it will not be used for government business. So you will soon be receiving what is called a UEI. Don't worry about applying for the UEI. It is automatic. But the Dunn's number you do have to apply for. It is free. So please do not rush out there and go and apply for it. All right. Dwight says Biden extends pause on student loan repayment through May. Thank you. You know what? I was looking for that, but I did not see it anywhere. And you notice they didn't talk about this. So thank you very much, Dwight. And I will make a video. So Dwight just updated it and said that they actually did extend the student loan repayment. They pushed it out to May 2022. So you do get a couple more months, which is good. They're just going to have to figure out what they need to do. So some of y'all who have not taken advantage of your student loan repayments, not your student loan forgiveness, you need to. All right. We don't want you guys missing out on those. So we got the public service loan forgiveness. We have the closed school loan discharge, and we have the borrower's defense. So no reason why people should not be jumping on this. I'm finding out more and more how many schools, what is that school? Someone just told me they went to, I think it's Florida Memorial College or Florida Metropolitan University, I think. And that school is owned by Corinthian Colleges, which also owns Everest and all of those. So this lady, I was very happy to tell her, we talked last week, she's 62 years old, and I was very, very happy to let her know that all she had to do was put in her application to get those loans taken off out of her life, basically taking off your credit, taken out of the Kyber system, and so that you no longer owe the government. She is a 62-year-old woman, okay? Y'all know she was in college in her 20s, probably. So she has been carrying these loans on her credit forever. This is the kind of stuff I want y'all to be sitting down talking to y'all aunties, y'all uncles, y'all grandmas, y'all mothers, okay? This is not just, I don't tell y'all this stuff just for y'all, because you can't be free if your family all tied up, because they're going to be needing you for help. So it don't make no sense of you getting free and then they still drowning. So just like they tell you on an airplane to secure your own mask before you secure somebody else's, make sure you're taking care of what you need to do for you, but go back and help these people in your family, because luckily her niece told her to give me a call, but she would have been carrying these loans on her credit forever. She's 62, and no offense, how much longer do individuals have to live at 62? And they live a long time, but why keep carrying all of that around with you that she's been carrying since she's been to college, like in her 20s or 30s? That's ridiculous. And I know the government tells you that they're going to help you wipe these things out, and we have all these programs, but if people don't know about them, how can you get these loans wiped off? It's so many people that don't know about these programs, which is why I'm here. Y'all got to keep spreading the word. Help me spread the word by sharing. I know I didn't tell y'all in a little while, but share, tagging, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Let me see. So I went over the PPP forgiveness, SBA. Okay. The FCC broadband, I told y'all last week is going to go down $20 more. So if you have that high-speed internet through your cable company, Okay, you should be expected to see your bill to go down an additional $20 starting January. The FCC broadband program is going to change to another name, but we don't care. The game is still the same. Give me my discounted internet. And if y'all not taking advantage of your discounted high-speed internet access, then it's a problem. Okay, so y'all definitely should. Now we could be like the people in China or some of these other countries where if you have a low credit score, and this is true, if you live in China and you have a low social credit score, your score is low, then your internet speeds get stifled. And you have a very difficult time getting on the internet. It's like using dial-up instead of high speed. Okay, so this is the same for people that live in rural communities, people that live in low-income communities. So if you are on any kind of assistance, you get WIC, you get that Obama phone, you get food stamps, free lunch, whatever it is, then you need to go and make sure that you are on this FCC broadband program. And all you got to do is contact your cable company. And you can also contact your cell phone company to see if they're offering y'all free Wi-Fi hotspots, if they're giving you any kind of discount from the same program. All right. So I gave y'all two things. Now call your cable company that gives you the high-speed internet, and call your cell phone company. I don't have people say, girl, I got free Wi-Fi, I got free hotspots. Instead of using the stuff at my home, because some people don't have cable. Some people just use their cell phone. You want to get a hotspot separate from your phone as a hotspot, you can. So call them. Let's see. We talked about the no child tax credit, the student loans. Oh, here we go. All right, so we're going to jump on credit really quick. I found out a bunch of stuff. And James, if you're still watching, you did not answer our question. How long did it take for you to get hit back from SBA? Barry University, unfortunately, is still around. They're very expensive, but they're not going anywhere because I don't look to go to them for law school. But no, Barry University is still around, so that is not going to work. We're going to have to go find us another school, Desiree. I'm sorry. All right, let me see what we got over here. I got my Dun & Bradstreet. If I create another business, do I need a separate? Yes, you do. Your Dun & Bradstreet is the social security number for a business. So if you get a new business, you need a new social security number, right? So every business you have needs its own DUNS number, needs its own EIN number, just like it needs its own address. So absolutely, yes, Miss Noreen, you do need a separate Dun & Bradstreet for each number business that you have, okay? Let's see. Let me see. Do you do people taxes for them? Yes, I do people's taxes for them. I can do taxes in all 50 states, and we can do refunds. The cash advances. Let's talk about these cash advances really quick. Now, I want y'all to know, because y'all know these tax preparers, they don't gonna tell you all this stuff. And why they're not gonna tell you? Because why would they? They don't want you to know the truth, because if you know the truth, you might not get it. All right, so these refund advance loans, although I am completely against them, if a customer wants it, that's completely on them. But I always do give them the opportunity to opt out by giving them the info. One, you need to know their interest rate is ridiculous. It's over 30% that you are paying. Two, it is not a refund, or excuse me, it is not an advance from your tax return. So if you get your tax return snatched because you owe student loans, you still will owe this refund advance, okay? And yes, they'll put it on your credit. If not, try to come after you. Remember, these are banks. So, they don't just go away, okay? So you can't just run off on them like some people do when they go to these places and get these cash advances or these title loans, certain places. These banks you don't necessarily run from, okay? Because there's only 3 of them that you can go to when you're doing refund advance anyway, okay? So you mess up one, they're probably gonna put a red flag and not gonna be able to go to the other. And the way that all these companies are starting to sync their information, you can't outrun anybody or do anything that the next company won't know about soon enough, okay? Because they're all sharing. So if you choose to get these refund advances, just know that it is not your check. If something happens, you don't get that refund, you still owe that money. They make you sign that paperwork, but a lot of you aren't reading that part. So a lot of people didn't even know that, okay? Believe it or not. Some people did not. So that's just an FYI. So let's see. Yes, I do taxes in all 50 states. I have once tax season open, I will put it out where you can actually go to my website and you can actually just put your information in. And then after you put your information in, I will be able to do the rest, and we can discuss your tax refund, whether we do that through Zoom, over the phone, however you want to do it, and you can go on and get your money. A lot of people have been dealing with me anyway. So I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to do next year. I am not going to fix your tax preparer's problems that done messed you up. Now, I don't have so many people come to me and they done got audited. And now I'm assisting them trying to work, get this audit off of their back, or to offer the IRS some money so you're not stuck in what you're doing. But if you go to somebody that you do not trust, do not come to me next year and say, you went to them and they done got you, and now you want me to fix what they did. But the only reason you went to them is because you knew they were going to lie to get you the refund that you wanted. We're not doing that this year. And the reason why we're not doing that this year, or at least I'm not, is because next year, the IRS is going to be scrutinizing individuals who prepare taxes. Now, if you prepare your own, they'll probably give you a little bit of a break because they understand you may not know. But if you go to an actual tax preparer and they don't sign that tax return, the IRS is coming to look for you and the tax preparer. If you do your taxes and your tax preparer doesn't give you a printout, that's a problem, okay? It's too many of y'all not knowing what's being filed, and then you got to go back and ask your tax preparer for the paperwork now because you're trying to buy a house. You should have got it when you did your taxes. So we're not leaving out of the tax office this year without getting our refunds. Even when I have customers that are out of state, you better believe that they get a copy. Everybody gets a copy from me. I don't play that, okay? And we want transparency. I want you to know what I did, and you should want to know what somebody did too. You know how many people I find that they got other people's family members on their taxes that they don't even know, and now they're stuck trying to explain to the IRS what happened because the person didn't sign their taxes? That's a problem. Also, if you are going to let somebody do your taxes and they do your taxes in TurboTax, H&R Block, any of those online forums, that's cool. But I'm just going to let you know that if you get audited, the IRS don't know that person did your taxes for you. So some people think they slick and going to say, well, I don't want to. And y'all know I offer individuals the opportunity to sell software so they can start their own tax business. So if anybody's interested in doing it, we still have time. The tax season has not started. You still can do your own tax business. Last year was crazy, but this year is on it. And all of the individuals who are with me are going to do their first time giving cash advances. So I'm excited for people because now they can make their own bank. Now you can charge people what you want. Okay. So if anybody's interested in that, you can sign up. All you got to do is hit me up. I got two software, two softwares left basically. Okay. So if you hire somebody and you let them do your taxes in TurboTax or any place like that, the IRS is only going to be looking at you because there's no way for them to put their information. Basically, when you split that payment, if you want them to pay, they get paid when you get paid. So there's no advantage of them doing your taxes in TurboTax. If anything happens, they come into you. So don't have these people logging into your TurboTax and you don't trust them because you are the one that's going to have to answer if something goes wrong. All right. Let me see if y'all got any questions. Let me check really quick. I used to do them not for business. Businesses can be, taxes can be crazy. If it's a large business and I'm not comfortable, I would definitely tell them to go to an accountant. Definitely not going to put myself under more stress than needed because I don't like messing with people's money and I don't like people messing with mine. Okay. Thank you, NYC to MD. I love giving y'all information. All right. Free Tax USA, federal free tax. That's right. Okay. Thank you, Sarah Jackson. Sarah Jackson said you can go to Free Tax USA to do your taxes. Federal is free. State is $12.95. So if you have to do state and federal, you will have to pay for state, but the federal part is free. If you live in Florida, you don't do state tax, so you don't have to worry about that. You will be able to do your taxes for free. If you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with them, okay? Also, if you want to do them yourself and you are a 1099 or you're self-employed and you plan on doing Schedule C, you need to know what you're doing before you mess yourself up. Why? Because the IRS is also looking at Schedule Cs to make sure that you're not skirting, you're not overwriting up all this mileage, and you're trying to write down stuff and now it comes back and it hurts you. I will give you an example. I have somebody, y'all know it's almost 8 and I like to let y'all go by 8, but I had somebody last week. Truck driver, made 6 figures a year, over $120,000 as a truck driver. Very proud of this young married guy. Problem is, he wants to buy a house. He can't buy one. Well, why? No, it's not his credit. His problem is he did not do his proper tax planning. He didn't do any estimations to put money away to pay taxes to the IRS quarterly. So when the tax preparer did his taxes at the end of the year, he made $120,000. He didn't pay any taxes. Can you imagine what his tax bill was? It was very high. So what did the tax preparer do? The tax preparer put in expenses, and she wrote, she was writing that amount that he owed down. Cool, that's what it's supposed to do, right? But she wrote his expense. She put so many expenses in that his income, his adjusted gross income, was no longer $120,000. He done went from $120,000 to $45,000. Now he's mad because he can't buy a house based off of the income that he really earned because the tax preparer put in expenses. Now, she didn't do anything wrong. The problem is he wasn't informed and neither was she. So she didn't let him know that, hey, I can do this for you. But in the event you try to buy a house, you're only going to be, the bank is only going to look at you for the $45,000, not the $120,000 that you made. Okay. They go by your adjusted gross income. So you make sure that if you are one of these people, you're doing these 1099s, you are these nurses, and especially these traveling nurses. I got a lot of them. Hey, y'all traveling nurses, y'all come to me every year. So thank you. But if you are a traveling nurse and you are out there making all that money, I'm happy for you, but you need to make sure you're putting some money away for tax time, because if somebody come to you, and this is a true story. I had a girl last year, $200,000, and the IRS came back with a $37,000 price tag, and that's what they wanted her to pay. And luckily, she had some money put to the side. She was able to pay a big chunk of that down because she knew she didn't pay anything. So please don't think that you can just slide by. And I'm not saying that to scare people. I'm saying this because times are changing, and it's going to be harder to do little sly fraudulent things that people used to do. And some people didn't even look at it as a big thing, but certain things now they're going to come back on you for, especially when you're low income, because you don't have representation. You don't have an accountant, and you damn sure don't have a lawyer to go to court in the event something like, if you were to get audited. All right, let me see really quick. Tremaine says, I'm ready to take off in 2022. That is right. Thank you, Tremaine. So I just want y'all to pay attention, okay? So Tremaine is going to be our next social media influencer, our next social media star right here from Florida. So I got your info. I'm working on you tonight, sir. And I will make sure that we promote you here because you are watching every Monday. And I definitely believe in what you do. And tell your son I need to come work out with him because he got a hellified workout. All right. So, yes, we're taking off in 2022. All right. Keisha. Hey, Keisha. Tiffany Fun. Thank you for tagging him. I appreciate it. James says, Brenda, it was like a year because they sent it to my savings account instead of my business account. So y'all see that. So James had to wait a year, almost a year, because the SBA sent the money to an account that would not receive it. The money had to go back to the bank, and then they had to work out all the stuff in the background before they reissued that money again. And he's just now getting it. So I'm glad you got it. And that the struggle was real, but I'm glad you got the money. Okay. All right. So let me see if I missed anything. Okay. So I was talking about the student loans, Navient ACS, and there's another one. I can't think of the name, but if you have Navient, that's probably the biggest one. If you have any of the major 3 student loan companies on your credit, you may want to dispute. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they all have given up. Navient is the last of the big 3 to say, we don't want to deal with the federal government and working with these student loans repayment. So we are now out the business. So when they go out the business, they have no right to report on your credit anymore because they don't manage it. Now, the government did say, and I'm going to post this too, the student Department of Education did say that there's going to be a lag in time because of the turnover. 3 major companies are all dumping these files back on the government, and the government has found a new 3 companies to take their place, but now they have to acquire all this information, put you in the system, report it to your credit. So what I'm telling you is you have a small window to get out there and send you some disputes to get those student loans off your credit. for a little temporary boost. So if anybody trying to buy a house, I have seen people do this in a very short window of time. You can get those things off of your credit, boost your score temporarily before the student loans come back. Okay. So that's one idea. All right. So Navient, I believe it's Navient. I'll have to get the three names. Jeez. I can't seem to find it. I saved it in my phone. Then the other thing, if you have a private student loan, because I do know people who have private student loans. If anybody got a private student loan and you had to get a cosigner, something that changed in the background that people didn't know is that you now can do a release to remove the cosigner from your loans as long as your credit and your income qualifies. So if anybody is on a private student loan and you cosign for someone, this is the time to get that off your credit by telling them, hey, you need to go on and fill out their release form and get me off of here. I wish they did that for people who did cars, okay? And I know some of y'all feel the same way. I know y'all wish they had a co-signing release for a car. Last but not least, this just happened, actually. So there was an article where a woman was billed $500,000 for she was having a baby, and then she ended up having some medical complications, and the hospital ended up billing her that much money. She asked them to give her a payment plan. Their payment plan was $48,000 a month. That was what they wanted her to pay. That was ridiculous. So she ended up doing some investigation and found out that the hospital that she used was a nonprofit hospital. Now, y'all know I be talking about this every week. So I'm glad to be able to see an article that backs up what I said. If you went to a nonprofit hospital, this is since COVID, okay? Because this stuff has been written in the bills. Y'all just don't know about it because it's in small fine print, and nobody talks about it because everybody only wants to talk about the stimulus. But if you went to a hospital that's a nonprofit and you have a bill and it's reported on your credit, or if you just got an outstanding bill and it's not on your credit, you can first, you need to, one, find out if the hospital you went to is a nonprofit. A lot of hospitals are not going to tell you that because, well, they don't want you to know because they don't want you to get a discount on your bill. But you can call the billing department and ask them if they're a nonprofit and if they offer a sliding scale, meaning they will adjust your bill payment to what your income is, okay? So what happened with this female was she found out the hospital she went to was a nonprofit and she was considered low income. She ended up getting the whole $500,000 bill wiped off her credit, wiped out the system, and she didn't end up owing them a dime because she fell underneath the federal poverty limitation. So I know probably y'all have never heard of that, but there is such a thing as a federal poverty limitation. It's called FP&L. Just like y'all who live here in Florida, no FP&L, the electric company, is called the same thing. If you, and the federal poverty for one person, a family of one, is $12,000, okay? That's a small amount of money for us. That's broke, okay, basically. And if you got an outstanding hospital bill and you make that $12,000 or less, you shouldn't be held responsible. Now, if you make more, you can get on the sliding scale where they will still adjust that bill where you don't have to pay the full amount because they see that you'll never be able to pay for it. And there are a lot of nonprofit hospitals. Now, I did try to find a locator, so, you know, for the United States, so I could give y'all like one link so you could just look up your hospital. And of course, they don't have it like that. They have it broken by states. So you actually have to look up your state in order to see which hospitals in your state are considered nonprofit. A lot of these hospitals are network hospitals, okay? This is how they make a lot of money in the medical industry, by networking. That's why now you'll see a lot of these small hospitals are now attached to the big name hospitals. And that's smart for them, but it's also smart for you, because if your hospital is connected to one of these larger hospitals, then guess what? That hospital now becomes a nonprofit, and you too now cannot be held responsible for such a high hospital bill, just like this woman that had that $500,000 bill. So it is very possible to get these bills wiped, either reduced or completely wiped out. All right. Yeah, here goes a federal poverty line right here. So yeah, so a federal poverty line, this is for 2021. For one person, the poverty guideline is $12,880. That's the lowest for a family of one. For a family of 8 is $44,000. So these are very, very low numbers. And there are a lot of people who are stuck who are with these guidelines and are paying, and you don't need to. All right. So let me see what time I got. It's 8:05. I'm trying to hurry up. I said I was done, but I lied. AAA is free all the way until January 3rd. So if anybody going to be partying from now to the weekend, AAA is free. Make sure you have that number in your phone. Nobody should be driving drunk. I know everybody who drinks thinks that they are the best driver. I've been there myself. We think we are the best drivers when you're drinking. But please sit down and go on and give somebody those keys and use AAA. Okay, did I say it was free? Also, passports. If you have not gotten your passport, it's too late because now the prices have now gone up. Prices for a passport are now $165 for 16 and older and $135 for 16 and younger. Let's see. Kay says, I saw something about if you paid child care this year, you can claim it on your taxes. Yes, ma'am. That's the child care independent credit. That's what we were talking about, the $8,000 that you can get back. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, y'all hit me with these questions. Let me see. Y'all know I'm like looking in two places here. Also, if you're an individual that got crypto, a lot of y'all got that Dogecoin, a lot of y'all done cashed out, or y'all try to take your little, you cashed out, you got a little bit of money. You may be receiving a 1099. Okay. We have not gotten instruction yet on what to tell y'all to do for 2020. Well, let me take that back. They want you to report whatever you got. So if you receive anything from Coinbase, from any of these places where you buy your crypto, okay, I just think of Coinbase because that's probably the most popular one that I know, then you need to be expecting to turn that also over to your tax preparer. So basically, do not rush out here and file these taxes this year all fast, because the Build Back Better bill has not been signed yet. And just like when we did this year, we had changes, and changes mean changes to your taxes and changes to your tax refund. So please, you don't have to rush out there and do anything. If you don't have no unemployment, you don't have none of those special situations, then fine. But if you do, then I would wait. Also, if you married and you know your spouse got some issues with child support, or if you don't know if they got issues with child support, you need to call the Treasury hotline. I will post it after the live on my story. It'll be on Instagram and it will be on Facebook. I'll do a video for TikTok too. But y'all need to call and make sure that you don't have an outstanding debt, because it's too many married people not getting their checks for a year because you got to go and do an inter-spouse, because now nobody got money because one person messed up with child support. So if you got that issue going on, you need to file separate. All right. It says, is you from New Jersey? Just Google most of New Jersey hospitals. See, believe it or not, majority of hospitals are about 90% of hospitals are nonprofit. That's how they get money. Y'all not paying. A lot of us don't have insurance, so we can't pay. So they get money subsidy. They get a subsidy from the government to help them keep running. And if they do, a part of that subsidy for them being a nonprofit is they have to accommodate so many low-income people to keep this money coming in. So for you low-income people that are going over here to these hospitals, some of you low-income and don't even know it. You qualify and you don't know it. But if you got some bills that you haven't paid or that's outstanding, you need to find out and go and dispute these bills with the billing department. It's nothing wrong. You're not doing anything illegal. The law is in the CARES Act. Okay. So absolutely. Tell them you need them to cover that bill. All right. Thank you very much, Jill Parr. She says it's called indigent financial assistance. Everybody calls it something different. I know at a lot of hospitals here in Florida, we call it the sliding scale. Just tell them you don't have any money, you're low income, and you want to know what programs that they have. They are low income. They have to have them. Okay. We're not sure. You have to have them. Okay. It's in the CARES Act. We're not playing that game. You got to have them. And if not, I'm going to need to talk to your supervisor. And if I can't talk to your supervisor, then I'm going to go into the mayor, the governor. And if they believe me, by that point, they'll be mad and let you go. Robert says, I don't think they're going to pass the Build Back Better. I don't know if they're going to pass, but I do believe that they're going to pass something, because Joe Biden ran on a big, large campaign, and most presidents like to pass bills that they ran on. He knows that we're going to be getting ready to go into election season soon. He's going to have to make good on his word. So I don't know what's going to come out of the Build Back Better, what's going to stay and what's going to go, but we are going to get some form of a Build Back Better. Okay. Let me see. Did I miss anything? What's the name of the company? I don't know which company y'all talking about, unless y'all talking about Navient. Somebody says, do I have a man? I ain't telling you. How about my building an ADU for my community? How do I apply for the ADU $25,000 grant? You will have to hit me up, Miss Cynthia, because I'm not sure what the ADU is. What ADU stands for? Okay. Let me see. Can I change companies to you? My people don't help if you got a question. Absolutely, you can. A lot of companies do that. They get your money to run a tax business and then they leave you out there to high and dry. But everybody can contact me. So, yeah, absolutely. I think I need a CPA. We'll have to see, Miss Cynthia. You may not. That depends on if you need a financial worksheet. You might. Thank you, Kobe. I appreciate that. It says, I have an LLC that I pay the yearly fee for. However, I'm not utilizing. Do I need to do anything with it? Absolutely. Get business credit. Don't ever have a business just sit there that you're not using, because you can turn around and make that business and you can build that business up, keep it, and then turn around and sell it as a shell corporation later, 10 and 20 years after you get some age on it. Now it's an age corporation. You can sell it for even more money. So we don't pay money for businesses and let them sit. We use them as a tool to be able to bring us more money in the future. All right. James says, when will it be effective that we can no longer file our own taxes? You can file your taxes as long as you want to. Nobody's going to say that you can't file your taxes. I'm saying that you need to make sure that if somebody else files your taxes, that they are signing it, because you don't want to be held responsible for what somebody else does to your taxes, and you're left having to explain to the IRS what happened while you getting audited. James says, so we are out now to visit. So when they got to go out the business, they have no right to report on your credit anymore because they don't manage. Exactly. So if this company that had these Navient and some of these other two companies, I got to get the name. If they no longer manage your loans, they gave it up. They sent them back to the Department of Education. The only thing that should be reporting on your credit is Department of Education, not Navient, not anybody else. So yes, you can dispute, and they did, and I will post where they stated that it's going to be a delay in processing. Well, delay in processing means paperwork, which means the computer, which means my credit when y'all reporting on me. So to cover yourself, I would definitely check that out. What are three? No, I got to get the names. I know, right? I tried to get them before I came, but I didn't get them. I'll just know Navient is the biggest one, and I'll get the other one is ACS. The last one I don't know, but I will post in the stories after this. James says, Navient sold mine to another loan company. Emailed me 3 days ago. See, I told you. So that is what the government said they're going to do. They said they should have already started contacting you guys, letting you know that they're transferring your loans over. But the lag is in the system. Yes, they have to let you know that they're transferring because, well, they can't drop the ball on that, but they can drop the ball in everything else if you also are not paying attention. So, James, if you still see Navient reporting, although they done told you they sold it to another company, that is inaccurate information. I'm not making this up. This is what the rules say. The government says it. So that's inaccurate information if it's still there. It has to be gone. You can dispute that. It didn't say when it had to be updated on your credit report. They said they sold it, which means Navient no longer owns your loans. Okay. And when disputing, what do you say you're doing it for? You're doing it for inaccurate information. That's it. It's inaccurate. I don't think. Okay, she said we read that one already. Gentile says, "Man, tell somebody to stop it." I know that's right. Let's see. Yes, it says Department of Education. All right, let me check to see if I missed anything else. Again, if y'all have any questions, you can always send me a message in Instagram, because y'all see me over here sweating like I ain't gonna say what I'm sweating like, but I'm sweating. And thank you very much, Jaleel. It says, yes, 1099. The schedule will be looked at with a fine-tooth comb. That's right. The IRS said it themselves. They're looking at everything. So that's why I'm letting my people know, y'all better come with some receipts. And if you don't have no receipts, I'm going to give you a receipt booklet, and you need to go sit in your car and come back and see me in a little while. All right? Because we is trying to cover ourselves, because we is not getting in trouble behind nobody else playing these tax games more. All right. So I believe I finished everything. I'm sorry I'm a little late tonight. But I believe I went over everything for y'all tonight. So again, happy New Year to everybody. I was feeling sad, but y'all made me feel so much better today. Again, if you're in Publix, I don't know if I put this out, you can go do your vehicle registration in Publix. There is a kiosk now inside of certain Publixes in Florida, so you can do your vehicle registration. Also in January, Equifax will be reporting if you have accounts with Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna. So if you're doing that buy now, pay later stuff, you will start to see them being reported on your credit. Unfortunately, they were not reporting before, so a lot of y'all couldn't build your credit. But this is a quick way for those who are responsible now. It's a quick way to get a trade line, add it on your credit, pay something off, and be done with them in 2 weeks. I mean, not 2 weeks, 2 months. All right. So, but I will wait until January till they start reporting on your credit before you try it. Because right now, if you do it, you get no benefit. All right. And let me see. I think I did. I think I went over everything. All right. So I went over everything. Again, Happy New Year, you guys. You can send me a message on Instagram. You can book me through the link on TikTok. You can book me through my Facebook if y'all need the service done. I'm trying to see if I forget anything. I don't think I did, but I pray you all will go into the new year with blessings, prosperity, and all of the things that you did not get a chance to do this year. You have a chance to do it next year. We are not dropping the ball. We are going all in 2022. I want everybody to be intentional about what it is that they want. I am challenging myself to be the same way. I want Shamika Saves platform to reach a certain level, just like these gossip channels do. We don't gossip. We talk about real deal stuff. I want the same as other people. That success as other people, and I'm going to do my part to be intentional to make sure I help facilitate that. And I hope that I push this same energy that I have onto you guys to go out there to get what is yours, because if you don't, it'll never come knocking on your door, whether that's free money, whether that's IRS tax credits, or any of these government programs. I bring them to you, but you have to do the rest. Okay. So with that said, Tremaine, I got you. James, I want to hear from you. And anybody else that got some good news, please let me know. God bless you all, and I will see you in 2022. Okay, so y'all have a good one. All right, bye, Genteria. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'll talk to you soon. And for those that are in my Discord, I know I didn't promote it tonight, but we're not going to do anything in the Discord tonight. I'm taking a break, but I will be back next. Well, I'll be back this week with something. I'm just not going to do anything tonight. So for my members, don't worry. I will catch y'all during this week with some new videos that I have not posted yet. All right. So I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye. See y'all later.